Hello. So I was at the farmer's market last Saturday and I bought some whole wheat sourdough, and it reminded me of making stuffing, so I wanted to make some stuffing and show you guys how to make stuffing if you don't want to like stuff it in a bird. So this is like stovetop method of stuffing, but without the stovetop brand. This is so much better, and it's just really nice to not have to like stuff the bird. That being said, I'm also doing something a bit different that I've never done before. I'm using dashi as my broth for my stuffing instead of using like turkey or chicken stock. So that's what we're doing, and we'll see how it turns out. I have these, I already sliced half of this loaf and I just let it sit overnight on the tray like this so it can dry out a little bit, because the whole point of stuffing is to take dry bread and rehydrate it with the flavors that you want. So yeah, it's pretty simple. I have some sage and celery and onion for flavors, and yeah, this is my family's simple stuffing recipe. We don't add like nuts or fruits or meat or anything like that, and we're very adamant that that's the right way to do it. I've had other stuffings that have sausage and whatever, and they taste great, but it's just not the one from my family. So this is kind of like the one from my family, but with dashi, which is going to be a little different. Okay, so our sage we'll leave till the end. Let's slice up our celery. And I want the celery and the onions to be the same shape and size, so we're gonna go kind of small. So I cut the top into 3 pieces so that you lose that horseshoe shape, because for some reason the horseshoe shape doesn't taste as good. Piece of celery. Okay, try another. Wow, this celery really stinks. So I'm just leaving it to the side. That's okay, we'll have enough. I can always grab more from the fridge. I don't like these ones that are peeling apart. Okay. Great. So now we're going to chop these into small pieces like this. almost done. Okay. Okay, this much bread, this much celery. Looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna do half this onion. This is a nice onion. Okay, and this one we're doing in a dice too. Okay. I'm wondering if I should do a full onion. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to do messy. That's okay. The idea is that it sweats down and gets really soft and like melts into the breadcrumb. Well, no, they're not breadcrumbs. The dried bread chunks. Okay, get rid of this. Never feel bad about throwing things away if they are subpar. Because you need to eat the nicest, yummiest things. At the same time, you know, don't just throw things out just because you're lazy. Okay, I'll do that later. Okay, great. So, I'll just show you what this looks like. Okay, so now we'll just head to the stove top and sweat these vegetables. Okay, so our Onions and celery have sweated down. We don't want them to get any color. We just want them to lose some of their moisture and cook so that they're soft. So if your heat's on too high, like mine kind of is right now, turn it down a little bit. And also though, make sure that you don't you don't stop sweating it too soon, because you do want everything to be nice and soft, not any crunchy chunks of celery. Okay, I'm just gonna taste it. Okay. Very soft, pretty much there. Now I'm gonna add my bread. Listen to how dry it is. Oops. Imagine I'm adding the whole thing. So give it a toss with your little vegetable mix. It's gonna soak up some of that butter, a little bit of those, yeah, mostly just butter in there at this point. Okay, and then our next step is going to be to add whatever broth you're using. Okay, so the key here is to not add too much broth. I have some dashi that I reduced a little bit so that it's extra potent. And I'm just going to eyeball this and dump some in and then mix it around and see what it's like. Okay, and then I'm just going to let, as you can see, the liquid evaporate before I decide whether I'm going to add any more or not. It's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to let this cook for a second, and then I probably will add a little bit more broth. Okay, so the bread is like getting a little bit stuck to the bottom, and stirring is important because you don't want this to feel like somebody just like rehydrated a bunch of croutons. You kind of want to mash up the bread a little bit. And now, but before I add more liquid, I'm going to add my herbs. So here's some thyme that has turned itself into dried thyme. I'm going to throw that in. And this is some chopped up sage, which I'm going to add all of, although it seems like that's probably way too much. Actually, that is way too much. I'm going to take some out. As if that's going to help anything. Okay, great. Now stir it up. Okay, now this looks like this. I have it turned down a little bit because I didn't want it to get too brown on the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit more of the dashi. Because see, that's still like a chunk of bread. Like that's not what we're looking for. Okay, I think I am going to add the rest of this broth. But no, that's it. I'm saving a little bit still. It's really hard to take it away once you put it in. It's so much easier to add a little bit more. And I'm gonna scrape up these little bits on the bottom. They're gonna add a lot of flavor and We also don't want them to burn, so just scrape those up. Okay, that addition was really good. This is starting to get a lot more stuffing-y. So I'm gonna let this cook out one more time and then add the last bit of liquid, and then we should be done. I'm gonna add a little salt right now, I think. Okay, I added some salt and a little bit of pepper, and I swished my spoon because this metal one is just doing a better job at this point. Now I'm gonna add our last addition of the dashi and let it evaporate, and then we'll be done. Make sure to get all this good stuff. Okay, here it is. Delicious stuffing. I just keep the twigs in, and like people can pull them out themselves, or you can remove them. Let me try. And the other thing, before I taste this, really scrape your pan. Like, it's gonna get really sticky and stuck on, and use what you can. I used a metal spoon, and then I used an offset spatula to really like scrape off all those little brown bits, because that's what's going to make this super delicious. The other thing you can do is keep it warm in the oven as you're, it'll be done, but you can keep it warm in the oven, or you can keep it on the stovetop. I didn't have to deal with any of that because I'm not making an enormous dinner. I'm just making this. So now it's time to taste it. Whoa, this is tasty. I really like that I left the crust on because it adds a little bit of chew, and the sourdough has a little bit of sourness to it, which is really nice, and the fact that it's whole wheat is always kind of a plus. Yeah, this is super delicious. I would make this even if I was making like a turkey dinner. This dashi, the addition of the dashi is like something, it tastes almost the same as a regular stuffing, but it just has a extra little kick that you're like, what is that? Wow, this is great. This is reminding me of, weirdly it's reminding me of Thanksgiving leftovers, because normally on Thanksgiving you eat like everything all together. But then sometimes the next day you just, warm up some stuffing and eat it. And that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. So yeah, now you know how to make stovetop stuffing. You can use whatever broth you want. The dashi experiment was extremely successful. So yeah, let me know how it goes.